Farm to table was not a new concept for this morning's guest on The Dish. Born in Germany to a Belgian father and an American mother, Chef Robert Wiedmaier grew up helping out on a working farm. After culinary school, he found jobs at top restaurants in Holland and Belgium before getting his start in the Washington, D.C. area.
In 1999, he opened the elegant Marcel's, which consistently earns among the highest marks for its French and Belgian menu and its extraordinary service. And he's the driving force behind 7 other Belgian-influenced restaurants in the D.C., Virginia, and Maryland area. Chef Robert Wiedmaier, good morning. Welcome to The Dish.
Welcome,
Good morning.
Chef.
Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be here.
Let's talk about this table because it looks great.
So what we have here is we have Prince Edward Island mussels, which I serve a lot of mussels. I have 4 restaurants that we serve like probably 10,000 pounds of mussels in a week. After that, we go over to my classic dish at Marcel's, is my boudin blanc, which is served with lardons of bacon and a fricassee of mushrooms and a Madeira sauce. That's probably put both my kids through private school.
The sausage that funded higher education.
And then we have my roasted Alinea duck with chocolate and cherries. Love duck. Do so many great things with it. And then we have my 5 onion soup that we serve at Brasserie Bec. And then over here, where the dessert is a bread pudding with a lemon anglaise and macerated raisins.
Gorgeous.
And
what do we have in this glass?
So this beer,
special,
beer here is brewed for me in Belgium, in Ursel, Belgium. It's a double blonde Belgian beer. It's called Antigoon, and it's the name came after the legendary statue in Antwerp. My father was born, where the story goes where that giant there had his hand cut off by Bravo.
I love the label.
And he's throwing the hand across, and it's in the statue in the plaza in Antwerp. So that's my beer.
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
American mother, European father. Who taught you about food?
You know, my mom and my grandmother were really the forces behind me getting into becoming a chef, and also growing up in little tiny villages that were all farmers. So I worked on farms, you know, got down with the soil and slaughtering the animals, and then going to the market with my mom. She knew where to get the best food all over at all those little markets in Germany and Belgium. So that really kind of fostered my love of food, and I just continued on with it. I never really looked back. I feel very blessed in that sense that I never really thought I was going to do anything else but be a chef.
It's amazing.
I want to talk about Marcel's because it's such an influential restaurant in the D.C. area, but you went through an incredibly horrific scenario not long ago.
Yeah, just recently.
You had a massive flood. You'd renovated the place a few years before.
We did. We had just renovated it, and then a pipe broke during this freezing weather we had back early in January, and it flooded out the entire restaurant, and we were closed for a month.
Which is devastating for
yes, it
almost
was.
Sometimes insurmountable for a restaurant.
I was very lucky enough to be able to survive, being able to pay all my employees and having everything fixed. And now we're back up and running. We opened up February 1st, and it's, you know, after 20 years, I've got a great follow of clientele and fans, and I thank all them for continually to dine at Marcel's. And so we're up and rocking and rolling again.
And you have Brasserie Bec. You have a number of locations in the Washington area. How have you seen that city's dining scene change since you first started there?
It's changed a lot. I mean, when I first came to Washington, D.C., we didn't have a lot of restaurants. There were some really good French restaurants and some really good Italian restaurants, but not that many. Now we see a lot of very good casual restaurants, and a lot of chefs from other cities are coming into D.C. and have opened up and doing business there. So the city's really thriving with restaurants right now. The population hasn't grown that much.
But the number of restaurants
is
eat in the nation's capital.
It really is. To come to the nation's capital, it's a great time to come and eat in the nation's capital.
In the restaurant business is so competitive. I'm always amazed when chefs like yourself keep so many restaurants going and keep them distinctive. How do you do that?
You know, it's taking care of your staff, sourcing staff, and constantly pushing the envelope to be the best you can be. It's like I tell all my chef de cuisines at all my restaurants, you know, if we're going to go to the game, let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's get to the World Cup. You know, we got to push it. If you're not pushing it every day,
you're not in the right business.
You're not swimming. You're sinking.
All right, I like the coach metaphor. Chef, as I ask you to sign this dish,
thank you.
I will ask you the question we always ask, which is if you could share this delicious bounty with anyone, past or present, who would it be?
You know, there's probably a lot of people. I'd say my mom for sure. But you know what? If I could sit with a special chef, it would probably be Ferdinand Point, who was the godfather of French cuisine. And, you know, God bless Paul Bocuse, who just passed away. But probably him because he was a mentor to a lot of the top chefs in France. And I'm a big Francophile, obviously.
Obviously.
Okay?
It's all worked out for you. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
Chef Robert Wiedmaier, thank you. And for more on Chef Wiedmaier and the dish, head to our website at cbsthismorning.com.